Okay, we're going to talk about a fix for a real common problem with the internal VFOs on a TS520 or 520S series radios. And these might actually be in the 820s as well. I don't know for sure. But after you get it out of the radio, and that's a whole different deal there, you'll figure that out. Or in this case, it was an external VFO. You're going to have this housing on it. It's going to have a screw on the top, one on the bottom, and then it's going to have a bolt on the back. You need to take that bolt off. Here's what you need to be careful about. Inside, there's going to be 3 washers that go around where the bolt. There'll be 3 washers on there. Those will come off. When you put this back on, make sure you put the 3 washers back on there and then put this case back on. Otherwise, when you tighten this down, you're going to cave that in right there because there's no support. Okay, so when you get one of these out, you know, it's really good. You're going to have some grease. And if you can get the old grease out, I use one of these dental tools, picks, and just get in there and get as much of that old grease as you can get out. And then you can actually use a swab with alcohol and try to clean up as much as you can. And what I end up using is this Tri-Flow lubricant. It's got the little nozzle thing there, and that will get down in there, and then you can shoot that grease down in all these areas, including on top of all these gears. And you can put that down in there, and it'll turn a lot better. You can also take this off and undo this, and you can get into those bearings that are in there as well, and also put Tri-Flow. What's important is when you do take that off, this needs to be pushed in, and the easiest way to keep that pushed in is just put the knob back on it, and just keep that pushed in with the knob while you undo that. That will keep the whole mechanism. Otherwise, it'll come out with all the bearings. So very important, if you undo that, keep pressure pushed in the whole time you undo that, and you'll be able to take that off and clean it and not have everything go everywhere. So now the problem. It's really common for these, when you're turning it, to all of a sudden hear the sound cut out on your radio. If you have a digital display, it'll start flashing or go blank, then come back on. You'll just hear the audio cut out. And it might be just fine up to like 300, and then all of a sudden it just starts cutting out for 50 or 100 kilohertz, and then you can dial it back in. In fact, it won't always do it sometimes. If you go back and forth several times, it might stay good for a few days, but it's an ongoing problem. It's a common problem. And here's where the problem is being caused by. There is a little plate right on the back there. And I'm sorry, it's kind of dark here, but this plate attaches to this shaft. It just makes contact with it when it turns. The plate is actually soldered. Part of one of the tabs from the plate is soldered on the back here. So it gets good contact with the frame here. That's not a problem. It's where it goes around this shaft where it has to contact. That's where you get the point, which is causing a loss of connection. How do you fix that? It's really easy. You get what's called silver conductive grease. Just a little tube of silver conductive grease. The stuff is super expensive because it's real silver, you know. So, and you'll get a toothpick and just get a little bit on the toothpick, and you'll push that clip in, and while you're pushing it in, you'll just put that grease right around where that shaft contacts that little clip. Don't get it up here. Keep it right in. When you push that in, there's a little bit of space. Get it around the shaft, then let that back out, and then turn it several times. So you get that conductive grease down in there, then you're going to get a really good solid contact. You won't be having the problems you're having. And that's how you fix it. So there you go.